There was a time in my 20s when I felt like it was already too late for me. I felt like I was too behind, I was too old, it was too late. And I saw that other people were figuring things out and things were going well for them. So I was in a very, very bad place and I almost gave up everything altogether. But how did I get out of that situation to become the person that I am today, thriving in what I'm doing and even trying to inspire other people to keep focused? I'm going to tell you all of that in this video. So if you're a young person figuring out life and you are at a stagnant situation right now, this video is going to be of help to you. This video is for you, so make sure you watch this video to the very end and also share with someone who should see this video. So I must have been around 25, 26 when these feelings started to creep in. I remember when I was 26, when I turned 26, I was very sad. It was a very sad day for me, actually. I felt like nothing. I felt really bad. I felt like I'd achieved nothing in life and that the future was so bleak. I could not see anything happening for me in the future. I felt like a real failure. I felt ashamed. In fact, I was ashamed of my age, actually, because I felt like there was nothing to show for my age. So let me give you a quick background. When I finished my second degree, I was around 25 or thereabouts, and a friend of mine and myself, we started a publication. It was called the College People Magazine. It was a magazine for young people, secondary school students, to help them, to give them inspiration, knowledge on just how to stay focused and just what they can do, skills they can learn, and a lot of other things like that. We were very excited about this project. It was something I was very, very passionate about, and we went on to get money for it. We borrowed money here and there, and we put the project together. It was a very nice print, very lovely thing. You will see the picture. I'm going to post it somewhere just to give you evidence, right? So we put a lot of work into this magazine, and we had big hopes that this was going to be the break for us. Like, it was going to be a breakthrough, really, because before then I'd already tried my hands on some other things like blogging. I had a blog to myself. I was doing some other things here and there, but I really had hopes for this one, and we published it. We went to Lagos. I was then living in Akure, Ondo State, but we went to Lagos to do the publication. We did everything and came back. We had already talked to some secondary schools, and they were interested in getting the publications. We were hoping that their students and their parents would get it for them, but unfortunately, when we brought the book, the magazines, to the schools and everywhere we went, it was rejection upon rejection and upon rejection. I'm not sure if we sold up to 50 copies of that magazine. I'm not sure at all, and we must have produced up to 500 copies. I remember that back home right now, I still have those magazines somewhere in one of the rooms just at the corner. And yeah, I'm no longer sad about it now when I go home and I see the books, the magazine. I keep saying books, pardon me, it's a magazine. So that didn't go well. It wasn't a successful project, but it was a good experience. So that was part of it. I was there. So I tried that business, and it failed. Apart from the failed magazine project, there were other things that I had done earlier that weren't successful, really. So it contributed to that state of mind that I was when I was in my mid-20s. In my mindset, all I wanted to become was a successful entrepreneur. I didn't want to do a 9 to 5. I was just too creative. I was too passionate about the things I liked, and I felt that I was just going to go for it. There was no need for me to go do a 9 to 5, which was a big mistake, and I'll tell you why as the video progresses. And now I felt like, oh, I'm not going to be able to make it or achieve this goal because everything I was doing was just going down the drain. So I felt like a failure, really, and I felt stupid. And I felt like people were looking up to me. I felt like my parents were looking up to me, or were, expecting me to do something with my life. Like I told you that I got some money from them and I got some money from other people. Imagine you getting all those money and the project is not making any sense, and you are still insisting that, oh, you want to do this thing, you don't want to do a 9 to 5. You will just look like, you understand. So I was in that state, really questioning my abilities, questioning my beliefs and all of that. So if you are in that headspace right now, if you're in that situation, if you're in a place where you're thinking, oh, I'm just not making, things are not just working for me, the things I want to do, I'm not doing it, or I'm doing it, there are no results, or you're feeling like time is running out for you. You're feeling like, oh, I'm too old, I should have achieved this and this and this by now. Or you're just feeling like you don't even have any clarity as to where you are going. I'm going to tell you what helped me to get out of this situation and to be able to move forward and go ahead to achieve many of the things that I've achieved thereafter. I remember the day I turned 26. It was a very awkward feeling. I woke up from the bed feeling like, oh, I'm 26. Imagine that. And I felt so sad. I couldn't even eat that day. Imagine that. Instead of me to be grateful for life, to be grateful for breathing and still having life at 26, I felt so sad. I felt like, oh, I'm 26. Before you know it now, or in 4 years' time, I'm going to be 30 and I'll be a failure. And I was so sad. I was almost going into depression. It was that bad. So if you are feeling anything like that, if you are feeling anxiety, even depression, you're feeling very sad, very low, I am still here. so you can get over this, right? I just want you to take this video as a sign that you can get out of this situation and you can do a lot of great things for yourself. So the turning point was actually when I, just thought that this can be everything. It can be over here. So I started reading again. Before then, I loved to read, and just because I was doing a lot of things, I was trying to get the publication published, the magazine published. I had a blog that was running as well. So I was doing other things, and I'm not a very fast reader, so I was slowing down on my reading, and I was just in a bad state. So I started picking up reading again, and I started reading. I remember reading a book by Gary Vaynerchuk. I think that's his name. He's a social media guru. The guy is very, very, very good. He's one of the top social media people on earth, Gary Vaynerchuk. So I was reading one of his books that he had written on YouTube, how to create content and all of that. I just stumbled on that book and I read it, and it gave me a lot of hope and inspiration. Apart from teaching talking about the importance of doing content and just how content is the future, I also learned just about how not to give up, just to keep pushing, and it was a turning point in my life. So I felt like, okay, I'm just going to start all over again, and I'm just going to put in a lot of effort this time. If you want some nice book recommendations as you are starting out in your reading habits, then I can give you some very nice recommendations. Just ask me in the comment section. And if you're already someone who reads a lot, let me know what you're currently reading right now. Another thing that really helped me was also listening to people's interviews. So I'm somebody that is very inquisitive, and I just like to consume information and knowledge. So at that time, I was just listening to a lot of podcasts. I was watching videos. There wasn't much of podcasts then, actually, but there were interviews of people who are running businesses, people who are, who have startups, or people who are just doing different things. And a lot of them, they had their failure stories. So I was just listening to a lot of those, and I realized that people who are successful have a lot of failure stories. No one started and it just became easy and they just made it like that. Everyone has failure stories or rough times or how things were hard. The more successful you would be, the harder things would be for you. So it's never going to be a smooth sailing. So that really helped me also to get out of that mental state of like, oh, things are over. No, I just knew that I needed to just push myself and get through it. So that's another thing that helped me. So you see, I talked about books, and I'm talking about listening to interviews, to just, listening to people talk intelligently and intellectually. Once I started reading, started listening to interviews, arming myself with information and knowledge, it empowered me. Soon, I started doing other stuff. Remember, I told you that I already had a blog, and then I was posting on Instagram, but I concentrated more on my blog, and I was reading a lot about SEO, search engine optimization. I was also reading about copywriting and just how to get more people to my website, because then I was making some little money from it. So I wanted to, make sure that I make more from that. So I was learning SEO, copywriting, and I was reading a lot. I was doing online courses and all of that. And soon after, I was able to start to work with a startup, and I was creating content for them. I was just their content creator. I was also doing blogs, posts for them. I was writing blog posts for their website and all of that, and I got a lot of experience from that job. Now, I told you that I wanted to be I didn't want to do a 9 to 5. I just wanted to be an entrepreneur and just be successful. This is a lesson for you. It is better for you to have experience. Yeah, it is good to work with other people first. I'm not saying that you should not, start your business early, but you cannot underestimate the value in having experience from the from the work environment. He gives you some skill that you nothing can buy actually. So this is a vital lesson for you. Once you're waiting to start your business, or you're waiting for your business to grow, learning or doing some other jobs with some people will not harm you. It will help you to have more skills to be able to even build your business or whatever you're doing better. So if you're in your 20s and you're feeling that it's too late, let me tell you something. It's not too late. You're not behind. You are just beginning. Trust me, everything is going to fall into place. Whatever you're doing now, do it very well. Later on, you're going to look back and be like, oh, thank God I did that, even though it did seem to make a lot of sense then. So keep reading, keep learning, keep expanding your knowledge, keep widening your horizon, keep meeting people. Just keep gaining knowledge. That is the most important thing. As a matter of fact, that is the best investment you can make in your 20s. And very soon, everything will make sense to you. Everything will work well. I did it, and here I am now in over 30, and I am still very grateful for all the things I did in my 20s. And right now, I feel that things are not making sense, and I'm not like, okay, I was doing well that time. And I know that that is also going to be your story, and even better. So don't stop.